This poem is called A Poem for the Girl Who Solicited Money to Get to the National Poetry Slam, I assume by plane, because, quote, I'm only 20 and I'm a white girl and I don't think it would be a good idea for me to ride the Greyhound all the way out there by myself, end quote. A man with fecal matter in his tight-fisted naps proclaims through the acrid stench of 3-day human sweat, the kind one can only acquire on a cross-country Greyhound bus ride, that he is going to hold this bus hostage. Stands in front of the door like a Buckingham Palace guard and proclaims in the only coherent syntax I have heard him offer in the last 40 minutes, ain't a motherfucker
Going no goddamn place.
get off this goddamn bus. And the first thing I thought was, thank God I am not a white girl. This would be so scary for her. Let me say, love, that I'm sure you didn't mean it that way. You know, the way that reminds us crackly black breeder girls that we ain't ever really known danger nor discomfort, or perhaps we know it just well enough. The way you know the taste of a rapist spit in your mouth so translucently familiar that it doesn't really make you heave anymore when you swallow, so swallow. Certain it was an 18th century slip of tongue, cellular memory that had you believe your prescient palate's safety is of such global proportion that our wallets might gladly lay themselves prostrate at the foot of your pretty toes than to sooner see them sludge through the swamp of junkies, jailbirds, and shitty-ass diapers, right? Greyhound is for poor people, old people, brown people, lesser people. Not prized little white girls. After all, America's flag is woven of the fabric of your frilly, pearly panties, and we will not have them soiled. So, of course, you should not ride the Greyhound beside my grandmother. An ER nurse for the last 20 years, she might tell you that she's on her way to visit her firstborn son, that he has broken matchsticks for legs, but she's praying God will make them as straight as his word. She might tell you that her son just joined the Navy, that the thought of war makes her stomach tie in knots like those rubber bands her brother wrapped around his arm since he got back from Vietnam. She might offer you a bite of some chicken she fried up for the trip, and God forbid we wouldn't want to unsettle your delicate alabaster belly, now would we? God forbid you have to listen to Liza tell you about her 6-month sentence for writing that $100 bad check for groceries. She might tell you she can't find her youngest since foster care took him. Juan might show you a photograph of his daughter. He's saving for a quinceañera, you know. A migrant worker might tell you that he travels on Mondays, but manages to make that 22-hour bus ride home in time for huevos rancheros on Saturday with his wife and 3 children. So, sweet baby Jesus, somebody might ask you to listen to something other than a poem, than yourself. And no sweet young white woman should have to endure that. Your safety is an American institution, a castle built on the backs of brown and black folks who carry the bricks back and forth across U.S. interstates so you never have to break a sweat, never have to break a nail, never have to worry if looking like every other black male will land you in prison, if forgetting your papers will land you in an illegal alien detention center, if today you'll be a maid or a whore or a poor welfare mother, because those are the only people who should ever have to ride the bus. So yes, love. There are 1,000 open wallets waiting to usher you away from the blight of poverty, away from what those of us not pale or privileged enough for pricey plane tickets and public pandering already know and trust. That you, my dear, will get wherever it is you need to go in comfort and in safety, because you've always been more than willing to leave the danger and the driving to us.